The famous superhero Bibleman has weird Lego knockoff minifigures, and I decided to buy a bunch of them and see which ones we can get. So you'd think that, so with an opening like that, you'd think that would be all that this video would be, but I want to say a little bit more before we start this. The last, year of my life, I have been perpetually in a really weird place, creatively, emotionally, and financially, wherein I am currently trying to finish another video starring my dad that we spent years working on. And a lot of people kind of say to me, Quentin, why don't you come out and make new videos? Why don't you come out and just post a new iCarly video? The honest truth is, we originally designed Dad's videos so that they would come out like a few months apart. And because of that, I set up an intricate background ARG style storyline that you kind of have to pay attention to piece together. It really, really bothered me if I abandoned the meta of those videos just to get a quick video out on the main channel, when it feels so much more right to stay the path, stand by my convictions. So the hope is, by the end of October, I will be able to finish Dad's video, and I'll get that video out, and that will make me some pocket change, which will help me then turn around videos actually starring me. I constantly think about videos I want to make when I wrap up this Quentin is missing storyline. Bibleman is one of the things I really want to do next year. In fact, I have started a ton of prep work trying to get all the Bibleman VHS tapes. And actually that's going to be one of the aesthetic gimmicks, is that if it came out on VHS and then later it got a DVD or a Blu-ray, I'm going to use the VHS, makes the fair use argument easier, first of all. Second of all, I think it'll look nice. And because of that, I have just been studying Bibleman every once in a while, but not trying to spoil myself because I haven't actually started watching them. And I really want that to be one of the main videos I put out next year. And actually, I've thought a lot about the ways I want to do it. I think one of my big challenges to myself is I want to try and make my video funny without making it overwhelmingly blasphemous. There's one or two jokes, where it's that'd be a funny joke, but more on the scholarly history of the text than me just being a Ricky Gervais, God, you really see. I have been studying the fact that Bibleman still kind of exists, and they have these Lego knockoff minifigure things. And for ages I saw you could get 3 of these on eBay for $19, which is a terrible deal. But then I pieced together that if you actually go to the source, to the main store that sells all this Bibleman stuff, you can get them for $4, which is much closer to an actual Lego figure. And I said to myself, you know what? I've had a bad month. I decided I was just going to buy a bunch of these and then see if I could get the ones I want. I think the only ones I really want, I want Bibleman, and then I'm not going to, if I get one Bibleman, I think I'll be happy. But you can see there, it's a blind pack thing, and it's got a backside, and I dropped one. I got to remember that. The temptation, if we want to use a fitting word, I guess, the temptation is to put all these in my closet, keep them locked up, and never open them until I'm actually filming that video. But I said to myself, you know what? I just want to open them and see what I've got. Of course, Bonbon's sitting in my lap now, so actually filming this without upsetting her and making her leave is going to be harder than you would think. So Bibleman is a superhero that they made to kind of get, little kids who love superheroes into loving Christ and the Bible. This is a blind bag series. These are very popular right now. So we're going to have to go through all of these to see if we get the characters we want. Now, according to this, the characters are Bibleman, Bible Girl, Cypher, Bill Cypher. I didn't know he was from this. Melody, Barrenness, the print quality on this is terrible. Crusher, Dr. Fear, Luxor Spawndroth, Master of Mean, Master of Maybe, Mystery Figure, Ronin of Wrong. Yeah, so there's one character that they don't advertise on the pack, and I don't know what character that is. Partially because, again, I've been planning this out, but I haven't actually watched the series, so if we get that figure, I'm not going to be like, whoa! But yeah, so let's open the first one and see what character we get. Oh, look at that. We got... Thank you, Bonbon. That's exactly what I need right now. We got the Master of Maybe, and as you can see, these are very Lego-like. In fact, I think if I hold it like that, you would just assume that's a Lego minifigure, or like a bootleg Lego minifigure you can get on AliExpress or something. But yeah, so here we go. There's the card. You recording? Yep. It says on the back here, Master of Maybe, goal, make kids question and doubt their faith in the gospel of Jesus Christ. Tactic, false relationship gifts. Fave weapon, BLZ Bubba Gum. I don't understand what that has to do with maybe. Henchman, none, though he could clearly use some help. Trivia, hates being asked if he's a referee. Oh, for a second I thought that said refugee, because I'm dyslexic. And I was like, that's kind of a weird... What's wrong with him being a refugee? Defeated by the gospel, Romans 1:16. Do you think they're all going to say that? They're all going to say, like, defeated by the Bible. You throw the Bible at these guys and they're done for. That's true for most people if you get a really, really thick version. So the challenge with the blind bag figures is, in theory, though it is hopefully improbable, every single one of these could be that guy again. You know, maybe. Oh, we got the big guy. Oh my God. Now we'll see how common this is, because I bet they made him really common because everybody's gonna want one of him. It's printed like it's one of those Lego capes, but it's clearly made out of cardboard. That's strange. I wonder if I could buy this actually made of cloth or whatever, because I can't tell if they're being cheap or if that's like a patented thing. The Bibleman. Yeah, this is super... Oh, that feels wrong. Like, that feels bad, too. Because it's not fabric, it's cardstock. So it's like... I've been saying cardboard, but it's cardstock. So it looks gross, and when you're folding it, it feels wrong to try and hold it in that place. So yeah, I think if you're going to get this, you are going to want to get a little custom cloth. Also, I've noticed there's a bit of paint missing from the crotch. Disappointing. Oh, and we got the card here. Now what you can see here is, and this should have been obvious from the first one, but I didn't notice, this is actually based on Bibleman, the animated series, or it's called something like that. Goal, lead kids to Jesus Christ. Tactic, teaches Bible stories that relate to kids' situations. Defeats villains with scripture. Fave scripture, Ephesians 6:10-17. I just want to say, in case it wasn't obvious up to this point, I was raised... my mother would say I was raised pagan, so I do believe in, like, a spirituality to the beauty of nature or whatever, but more in, like, almost like a metaphorical, like, purpose of being alive kind of way than a literal, like, I think the afterlife exists and it looks like a bunch of clouds. So the point is, I was not really raised Christian. And my goal is to have fun with the absurdity of Bibleman eventually, but to not use it as a platform to diss anyone who was raised with faith. But on that note, if I'm saying like these Bible verses wrong, that's why. I've never read the Bible. I've tried, but I have ADHD, so like I usually get like a page in. But I guess I should try, because they say, I had a Mr. White, my history teacher in middle school, shout out to him. Leave a comment if you had Mr. White. He would say, you know, the number one, if there's one book you should read to understand American history, it's the Bible. Because the Bible is going to help you understand a lot of different moments in American history. And then he would take out a banana and like eat it really weird. Dr. Fear. All right. This guy is fun looking. I really like his aesthetic. Now this is a fun fact. If you guys know my lore characters, my lore character, Evil Dad. Evil Dad is inspired by a lot of different stuff. My dad was a massive Jim Varney fan. He and Jim Varney were both from the same area. So my dad really watched a lot of Jim Varney stuff, and he almost loved Dr. Otto more than Ernest. I mean, that's an exaggeration. I don't know if he'd disagree with that. But Dr. Otto was like the funniest thing. And I wouldn't be shocked if a lot of modern evil scientists were also inspired by Dr. Otto. So the Evil Dad character is supposed to have a lot of just general evil scientist ancestry. But at the time, I thought it would be a cute visual nod if I gave him the Insano glasses, because Insano versions of reviewer characters used to be a big trend in the online reviewer space. But the problem I found is that as soon as I put that visual connection in there, no one will recognize that character as his own thing. I have a point to telling you this. So anytime that character shows up, people are like, why is Insano here? Or like, why is Russ Sano here? And it kind of makes me go, damn it, we've had this character around for 10 years and people still just think he's an Insano ripoff when I think he's a little bit more than that, or maybe a little bit less, but something else. And we have talked a lot about things we could do with him. And one of the big ideas I've had is someday potentially switching him to glasses with red lenses. And so when I look at this, I think about, like, we've thought about if we were to redesign Evil Dad, that's one of the changes we might experiment with, is going with different glasses, just because that's like a pet peeve of mine. I hate it when I've put like so much love into preserving a continuity with that character. He's from my second film review on Quinn Reviews, and people are still like, haha, Insano. Anyways, Baroness. Okay. Now, some of these I recognize from the VHS tapes. Some of them might be exclusives to the animated series. I don't recognize this woman. I know there are female villains I would recognize if they showed up in this. I'm curious why the feet are so different. I don't know if this is another Lego line that already has its own vibe. It might also be that is a trademark thing, or a copyright thing, where Lego can only really protect the below the belt on their minifigures, and everything else is free to mess around with. Because it is kind of shocking how close these are. I will say I'm a little disappointed in the quality so far, and I'm hoping that's coming across on screen, that I'm not being unreasonable when I say that. I think they could have and should have had better quality control here. What is the Baroness's weakness? Trivia, double winner of annual villain beauty pageant, defeated by forgiveness, Colossians 3:13. Huh. Her favorite weapon is a conflict crystal? Okay. It's pretty cool. Got some lore there. Reviewer, Quentin Reviewer. You waste at least 2 hours right here. And this is Bibleman again. All right. We got some dupes here. And again, you can see this is not good quality in my opinion. But still, Bibleman, hyped to see him as always. So let's put another Bibleman together. And I do think I want to keep at least 2 or 3 Biblemen, but at some point, if we get enough dupes, I could see maybe like doing an X.com giveaway or something, Dr. Fear again, yay! All right, great. What's this one? It is Bibleman again! I suspected that they release a ton of Biblemen. Toy lines like He-Man, right? He-Man and the Ninja Turtles and similar toy lines in the 80s, they had this problem where kids buy their toys to play with, to act out their role-playing, to be like, ooh, I'm He-Man. And so you would think you would release one He-Man toy, and then you would release like a ton of bad guys. But the problem is, at the same time, every kid wants to at least have a He-Man, and they might not care if they have every other bad guy. And at the same time, after a while, most of the kids still invested probably still have a He-Man. So you need to keep the inventory without like oversaturating the market with toys that people already have, but still recognize that people will want that, you know? So it's very clearly a thing where they're like, yeah, you know, we need to put a ton of Biblemans in these because otherwise people are going to be ticked off that it's like a 1 in 15 chance of pulling him. Bible Girl. Now, I think that Bible Girl is, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, Bibleman fans. Again, I have not actually started watching the franchise. But I think that Bible Girl is kind of like the trainee, like new character from the cartoon, wherein Bibleman has collected together a ton of like young wards, I want to say, who he's training to love Christ and all that stuff. To me, it's very similar to the latest show with Captain Man, the latest Henry Danger thing. And this figure is very similar to Bibleman, but she has a hairpiece. And if I put the hairpiece all the way down, it kind of messes up her eyes. So we're going to kind of try and keep it loose like that. So we got a Bible Girl. Oh, and we should see what Bible Girl's thing is. It's probably loving Christ. Goal, protect kids from the enemies of God. Tactic, develops Bible lessons, opposes villains. Favorite scripture, Philippians 4:8-9. Weapon, dual light tonfas. So that's what they're calling him. Oh, these aren't the lightsabers. Yeah, but Bibleman sometimes has a lightsaber, so I think I'm probably going to get a lightsaber for my minifigure. Weapon, we already did that one. Hobby, singing/music. Favorite, slushy flavor, strawberry chocolate. I am so glad they included that last factoid. Dr. Fear again! Is Dr. Fear like the most famous Bibleman bad guy? Like, I don't understand why we've pulled just as many Dr. Fears as Bibleman. I do recognize the name. I think he does have one of the VHS movies, but still, you would think people would want more of the Rogues Gallery. Like, is Dr. Fear the Bibleman Joker? This is why I love Bibleman, because just saying stuff like Bibleman Joker, that's awesome. All right, let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. Whoa! And it is Bible Girl again. Wow. Do you think this is one of those blind box series where like a good amount of the stuff you can pull is actually vaporware? Because I've experienced that before, where it's like you're trying to get a specific like blind box figure that's at the bottom of the list, and then after a while you're like, this doesn't exist. They didn't make this. You know, they just made the first 5, and then they were like, no one's gonna know that that's all there is. I would love to be proven wrong, folks. And if that is what they did, I don't blame them. I don't judge them. But we got another Bible Girl here. What's the young guy's name? Is he Bible Lad? I'm assuming he's Cypher. I don't know. Come on. Show me the money. Give me a new one. And it is Bible Girl again. Okay. Honestly, I'm just happy that it's not just Dr. Fear over and over again. Just the fact that we at least got some Bibleman toys. Because I feel like you can be stuck in a situation where that happens to you. When I was a kid, no one's going to believe me. When I was a kid, I was really into this show called Galador. Speaking of Lego, and I actually kind of fucked with Galador. I thought it was fun. And I specifically, when the McDonald's toys came out, I was like, I want those McDonald's toys. I think that's a cool play feature that you get to swap their body parts. And so we went to McDonald's like 7 times during that month or something. And, you know, I think it was more like 4 times, but I had a sister, so we'd always get 2 Happy Meals. And we only ever got the blue guy. And this was just always so annoying to me because it was like, because I remember when the Inspector Gadget toy came out, at least I got like 25% of them, even if I got doubles. But for Galador, I could only get the blue guy. And now I'm old enough to understand that like McDonald's employees, they get the toys and then they'll just open one box. So if you want to get different toys sometimes. You have to like hit up different restaurants. But yeah, that's just one of my earliest memories of these blind box things, is that I only ever got the blue toy from that Happy Meal line. And so for the rest of my childhood, I just always had like 4 or 5 of the torsos sitting around my bedroom. Probably not enough parts left to build a full figure, but just always the visual reminder of how annoyed I was at McDonald's about that. All right, so believe it or not, we have almost done away. We've almost done all of the bags. Except earlier, I dropped one on the floor and said to remember it, and I did remember this entire time. I planned the end of this video around me pulling this off the ground at the end. So what about that? This is the last one. And let's see if we can get, let's see if they can prove me wrong. Let's see if I can get something like the Ronin of Wrong, or Luxor Spawndroth, or even the mystery figure. It is the Mayor of Maybe again. Okay, it's kind of a egg on my face. I really hyped them up for that one. I will say that one of the figures I was excited about we did not get today, which is the guy with the eye patch. And I also like this like little bionicle looking thing. I don't know. He looks like he has a Transformers head from G1 or something. I don't want to say devil, but he's got horns, you know. Those two really stood out to me as interesting, and we did not get any of those. So I'm going to stop real quick and try and, I'm going to put these on here. I think that at very least the Bible lad, or whatever his name is, this has to exist. Again, I don't know the character's name. I'm sure he's on the back. But if some of these are vaporware, Bible lad has to exist. I also understand that I'm not exactly using the word vaporware correctly, but whatever. And we did get one obscure character, so I do think it's possible to get these. But I would love to know if anyone has actually managed to pull all these, because there's not a lot of information online, surprisingly, about the Bibleman Lego knockoff blind bags. But I would love to see a full collection, because right now all I have is this kind of stock art, which is clearly computer generated. It's clearly not photos. And I would love to see if anyone actually has a full collection of the Bibleman. I expected to get a lot of Bibleman. I didn't expect all the other doubles. But beggars can't be choosers. I basically got what I wanted. So what do you guys think? In the future, should I come back and try and get the rest of these? I don't know. I want to thank all you guys for being so patient and nice with me, especially those of you who have supported me on Patreon. Last year, my life has been difficult, and the only thing I've really had left is the ability to kind of bunker down with what I hope is working about the channel as it exists already. And that is these little storylines and things. And I know that people have been wanting to see me come back, and I really do want to get there. It's just that I don't want to half-ass it. And those of you who have understood that have continued to support me through it, and have even supported me when I've, frankly, not emotionally been well and haven't been in a space to make main videos. You know, there's few people in the world that I could be so grateful towards than you. And I hope that when I come back for real and I cover stuff like this, I hope it's stuff that people want to see. Because again, you know, there's some days where I wake up and say, well, Quentin Reviews isn't a real YouTube channel like Curtis Connor or something like that. But then there are days when I just have to remind myself, you know, you've been doing this 10 years. You know, it's what you wanted, but 10 years ago, you know, 9 years ago, did I really expect that this was going to last a decade when I started working from home? I don't know if I had that confidence. So maybe the fact that you guys still support me enough that I'm able to envision the 2026 incarnation of a dumb idea for a YouTube series I had in the mid-2010s. Maybe that's enough indication that that there is something there, that I do have a fan base that actually enjoys my videos for the reason that I enjoy my videos. And the reason that's a specific insecurity, I feel like, is that whenever I see people like I'll go viral every time I post a video, and a lot of the virality will just be people just shitting on me as the least creative person, a person who just makes schlop and just garbage and just like no artistic value, no purpose to any of it. And then when that hurts, and I try and say, well, I don't care what you think, right? But the thing that almost hurts a little bit more is then when I then see my fans defending me, and I'm kind of like, that's what you like about me? Where they're like, yeah, he's just describing other people's work, but it's a good thing to put on while I'm doing my laundry. And it's like, so you can't say that you think there's like any, like your defense of me is, well, yeah, it is bad, but I can put it on when I'm not paying attention, and sometimes that makes me go, damn, what am I doing with my life? But like just the fact that I then turn around and I say, we're approaching the 10-year anniversary. I'm trying to plan for a way to celebrate that. And just that fact means that, there's enough people out there that really get it. And this all sounds probably like me just whining about my life, but the truth is that I just want you guys to know that I appreciate all of you so much. And I think every day about how grateful I am that this is my life and that you guys have made my life so amazing. So I hope I can keep my promises, and I hope by the end of the year we'll have a few videos out. But with that, I've been Quentin Reed Toos, and I'll come up with a final thing to say in these videos eventually.